loyal viewers and subscribers. Welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. Yes, I wanted to know that that this channel we do believe in God. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, and when we say we do believe in God, just like how you have the maker of a cell phone, you have iPhone. iPhone is the maker of the cell phone you use, or the Samsung phone. It has a maker, that's why it's marked Samsung to show you who made the phone. You understand? Um, I did not come here all by myself. I came on this earth, because my mother and my father they have intercourse, sex, and that's how, the Germany, and that's how I am here. It's not because of, it's because of God's mercy why I am here. It's God. I am a product of God the Almighty. So there was no man could make me in a lab or anything like that. So we know that the Bible was given to us by the Europeans. You understand? I was not there, so everything that we live with, socialize, and all of those things, is from what they have taught us. You understand? So now that they're telling us, the same book that they have given us, our ancestors, our years, and us, they're telling us we need to abandon it, and it's all lies. But we still believe that there's a God. You understand? And remember when you used to go to church on Sundays, people, especially in my age, from the 70s, 60s, maybe the whole of us on the 50s who are still alive, and listen to this, are those from the 40s. Yes, that we used to have the real preacher, man. And time these guys, when these preachers preaching, especially the ones that visit from America or Europe in the church, the white men, when they're preaching, man, or they show you one of their movie about hell and people riding bike and all kind of stuff. Make you afraid, even when you see the sky changes its color. You understand? So I wanted to listen, I wanted to just listen to this thing, what is going on right now in the universe. Man cannot stop it, but man want to tell you that they are God, the only person who is responsible for the universe. It's not man, it's God, a supreme being. So just listen to this, and then we get into the real old time pastor preaching.
NASA scientists have been left puzzled by the data sent back by the Hubble telescope, which shows that something weird is happening to the universe. For the past 30 years, astronomers have used the Hubble Space Telescope to study the edges of the universe. Now, as the scientists analyze the data collected by the telescope, they come to the startling conclusion that something weird is going on with the universe. The telescope, which was launched in 1990, has helped astronomers identify 40-mile-post markers for space and time to measure the rate of the expansion of the universe. But now, NASA has observed a
So have you
discrepancy
heard for
between its
yourself
current
that
rate when compared.
scientists, the American scientists, they have seen things in the universe, that in up space. I remember that they said that how the universe is designed. That's before like 10 years ago, they would tell you, that from the Bible that God live upstairs and upstairs is heaven and all kind of stuff. So the scientists are seeing things, in which they cannot stop it. The American scientists, they are seeing it and they are puzzled. We have to understand, it's not them at work, it's the Lord Himself, it's God. So I wanted to listen, 'cause remember today's Sunday, May 22nd, and we used to go to church and listen when these guys preach, man. And, well, this is one of the last black preacher that's standing. So you understand, we don't know if when he's gone, if we're gonna have another preacher like Gina Jennings. So just listen to this preaching right here.
Got people in your church know you're shacking and you won't tell them nothing. I got my son, who is a 6'1" robust football player. He said, Daddy, all these homosexuals around here. I'm going to tell you what's going on. When the man that was full of demons in Mark 5, he came running to Jesus to worship him with the demons. We got folks shouting up and down here because they don't respect us. That's another thing the Bible says. I will relegate you to disrespect. I'll make you low. I'll scandalize you. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Reason why our church is not growing, because we ain't fighting nothing. We ain't fighting nothing. The doctor fighting disease. The police fighting crime. What do we fight? We insidiously make room for these people that just sit there. But God gonna get you. Somebody gonna get fired. Who you think you are? Dumb dogs that won't bark. The enemy's coming and you won't bark. And I'm doing this for posterity. I'm going to tell you, I used to have a limp too. My limp was anger and violence. And I love women. But discipline is to make one woman your wife. And I'm going to tell you young men, don't listen to these apostate prophets, these old losers, these old punks in the church done turn people out with your low down self. I'm going to tell you young men for posterity, don't be a playboy. Don't get in the ministry for big cars. Because I want to tell you, Jesus is better than a car. Jesus is the best thing. I go to your church, you got the sissies doing praise and worship. I'm not going back to no place because I know I'd turn it out. You know, let's praise the Lord. I went to a church, and I'm going to close. I know I got to come in. Y'all can pull me in if you want. But y'all took a lot of time for y'all put me up. Now, I went to a church, and watch this. When I walked in, all the homosexuals, they, uh-oh. Uh-oh. And the pastor was in on it because he heard me taught about the limp and whatever. He got convicted. He said, I'm going home and call a holy assembly. And he brought me in. And when they saw me, they were tormented. See, the Jesus in you ought to torment. The Jesus in you ought to make them nervous. How come they're comfortable around you? You know why? Because you're the candy man. and you make the world taste good. But after the night, Thumas is coming. I went to this church, and see, I'm a prophet, and prophets are like mosquitoes. They bother people. And the water is stagnant. So here come the mosquitoes bothering people. It takes courage to preach the gospel. You can't be no weakling and preach the gospel. You got to be like Joshua. Jesus and Joshua, the same name. Joshua is warrior. I went to this church. I'm going to be through. I went to this church. Lord, they had them everywhere. And so he had the praise and worship leader. We ought to do some vetting. And so the preacher set it up. He said, I want you to sing the song for Dr. Carter. Get up. He got up. I give you all of me. I give you all. I give you all. Me. But when I got through preaching, he took all of him out the church. And he said, all you Baptist people get ready. He said, I'm going to the Baptist church. And the pastor said, I gave him all kinds of opportunity. I incorporated him. And he got up and backed me up. He said, I want to know how long you have to stay by the pool and not get delivered. He said, I'm tired. And if you leave the church, God will send somebody else. You can't let a few trees keep you from the vista of the forest. You got to preach by faith. You got to live by faith. And don't get in trouble with God. The church is a hospital. But let me give you this. Now, somebody come get me now. Somebody come get me. The church is a hospital. But he who would heal the lepers must not be one. How you gonna heal the leper and you sick? You limping. And when you got a limp, you'll preach your limp. And you'll try to justify your limp. Well, we all are human. Oh, I meant to tell you, we're not just human. Because the infinite now indwells the finite. So now we are super finite. We're not just human. We are superhuman. Now, y'all ain't saying nothing. You need to be superhuman in order to keep normalcy. Am I making any sense? He who would heal the leper. If you're going to heal the leper, you must not be one. Change your style. Cut your hair. Stop looking like a girl. Stop endorsing them. And the best way to endorse any company is to dress like them. Get out of the bed with Catholicism. Don't be antinomianistic. Get out of Gnosticism that says whatever I do with my body does not affect my spirit. And Calvinism, I can do anything. That's the Bible. God told me that we are dealing with the acrament of men, mental perspicacious men that uses their sophistry, that means clever reasoning, but wrong. Get back to your Pentecostal roots. Don't go to a liberal seminary. Find a full gospel Pentecostal seminary and get your mind organized and floss your brains. I'm done. I'm done.
So, you remember those kind of preaching when, growing up, you go to the church and the preacher preach and reveal, the truth about the laws of God and laws of nature and tell you, because remember that, the church is the first place where you learn spirituality. You understand? And it show you how to connect with nature and everything because God is here and everywhere. God is omnipresent and omniscient. And once we love God and respect His laws, there's an abundance of reward for us when we depart this earth. And no money cannot buy your way into His kingdom. Because remember, God not only loves the rich, but when the rich exploit the poor, because that's how the rich got richer. You understand? So what is happening right now is just a matter of time. You might be going through all kind of form of terrorism, economic terrorism, financial terrorism, physical terrorism, and we can see it. You understand? So what is happening up there, in the universe itself, that's boggles the mind of the scientists. Then, is that because they don't control the universe? They are not God. So all of these people on earth who are trying to tell us that God is an imaginary friend, you know, I beg to differ because I am not the creator of life. I remember, one of my schoolmates who was a nephrologist and lived in Washington, D.C. And he told me, growing up, we were boys together, not even teenagers, boys together, and went to high school after. And he told me that the only time you will believe in God if somebody lose their foot and God grow it back. So people want God to be what they want God to be. You understand? So they want God to adhere to what man is saying and thinking about God. God is not man, and God is the creator of all living things on earth. And we appreciate and love God and thank God for His mercies. You understand? A lot of prophets has come and a lot of prophets has gone and died, but the words still live on because God is the Almighty. You understand? Yeah, man, thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. I hope you enjoyed the video and all the best to you. Yeah, there's a bring book. Um, some Sunday preaching, what we used to enjoy back in the days growing up. One love, all the best. Peace.